What's up, guys? Welcome to Box to Box Football and a bit of different scenery going on here today. Yeah, we're not. Yeah, we are in the studio, as you call it, but it's not just me and Jack. We're on Twitter.
Yeah.
First thing you guys got to do is follow Box to Box Football Twitter. Get on that stuff right now. But Twitter is where the best news comes from, and it comes very, very sharp. It is transfer deadline day. We're live on Twitter right now, looking at all the transfers that go through. So I'm just going to slowly scroll down, looking at each transfer. I'm just going to talk about all the big news that's happening. Oh, first one that just popped up right there. Theo Walcott just signed for Southampton on a loan deal. Jack, what do you think about that deal?
I like it as I think as like the narrative goes of like the youngest ever player, like the kid coming home kind of thing. I love that as a dynamic. I think that's really cool. Do I think he's going to make Saints any better than they currently are? Not really. I think Theo Walcott's time has kind of come and gone. But as a story, and like I said, as kind of a narrative, I kind of like that. Walcott kind of going home. I think that's really cool.
I love Theo Walcott. Again, me being an Arsenal fan, I've seen Theo Walcott grow as a player, but he's a player that for me could have been the next Thierry Henry, as they say, but it's not going to happen. But let's talk about my team. Let's talk about Arsenal. And a little thing just came through there. Thomas Partey has passed his Arsenal medical and is now in London to complete a £45 million deal. Thomas Partey is going to be a Cooner, guys. Thomas Partey is going to be oh my days. I'm so happy for this deal.
It's the least likely Arsenal thing to happen, and it's happened. So, fair play. What can you say?
Listen, again, the Hassan Mawar stuff was just an absolute disaster, and every Arsenal fan was disappointed about that. That deal not happening. Generally, he was a player that a lot of Arsenal fans wanted, but Thomas Partey is someone that we have missed, and I keep on mentioning this. Every Arsenal fan does since Patrick Vieira. That feel, that grit, that determination, hard to beat. He is who we need in that midfield. I look at the Arsenal midfield sometimes and playing through them, we're soft. Teams can cook through us like a butter, like a hot knife through butter. Him coming in, he makes us a lot stronger. Again, creatively, he's not the answer, and we definitely do need to look at that long term. But Thomas Partey is a player that we needed, and we've been crying out for a long time. And I'm so delighted it's happening. I
will say, I don't know whether it's honestly, I don't know whether it is potentially a racist thing. But I know that a lot of the time people have this idea of African big, strong midfielders, and there's this whole idea of all they are is just physical freaks, and they just do this and they do that. No, Thomas Partey is one of the most complete midfielders in the world. The beginning of last season, along with somebody like, say, Fabian Ruiz, he was in my team of the season early on. Thomas Partey played that well. And I think when you play under a manager like Diego Simeone, you have to be disciplined. You have to be intelligent. You have to show patience, composure, all of these kind of characteristics, which I think, like you're talking about, the Arsenal team have missed. So I'm hoping that people will get away from this idea that, Partey is going to come in just like somebody like Kante or Ndidi and just be a ball winner. He's so much more
Definitely. Again, I can get into the whole thing about how the way black players and Africans will look, but he's definitely a player that we've needed for a long time. And Guillaume Balaguer spoke about him before. I don't know if we can just pop in and just listen to what Guillaume Balaguer had to say about him. I don't know if you guys can hear this. Can you guys hear this?
I haven't got any audio on it.
Again, Guillaume Balaguer just reiterated there. Strong player, but quality on the ball, ability pass long and short. And if he can come in and add the dynamism that he does have with the ability to play on the ball, Arsenal got a player and a half, and this could be to me the signing of the summer. It is that big of a deal.
Also, shout out to Guillaume Balaguer, who we definitely want to get on Box to Box Football. He did come to UCFB, and he did have a chat with James. I'm pretty sure I totally listened to his masterclass. So if he's out there, give us a shout.
Team, I spoke to you. Let's make it happen. Jack, I just want to talk about a quick thing right there. It came up about Memphis Depay.
Yeah.
Now, rumors that it was going to happen. Then it was off, and then today it said, "Oh, it's gonna happen." I just came up today that the deal's not gonna happen anymore.
It was totally reliant on Ousmane Dembele, and basically what we've seen happen with Ousmane Dembele is that if the final end to this saga is that Barcelona said, "We will allow you to go to Manchester United on loan," which is what you want to do, but you need to sign a 1-year extension to your current deal so that when you come back from loan, you have 2 years left on your deal. Dembele refused to do that. No, I'm not doing that. Manchester United refused to buy him permanently, which was the only way.
Jack, just a quick one right there. Ruben Loftus-Cheek to Fulham. That is a great deal for both parties, for Fulham, Chelsea, and Ruben Loftus-Cheek. I'm really happy about this deal, but Jack, carry on.
Yeah, no, and so basically what happened once Dembele had ruled that out, the fact that they couldn't get rid of Dembele purely means, plain and simple, that they can't sign a replacement, they can't get Memphis Depay. I think Barcelona, I don't know if they'll come to regret that or not. They'll probably try and shift Dembele in January, but I don't know if there's going to be a market for him any better than there is at the moment. So for me, it's kind of a weird one. I would expect Memphis Depay maybe to join Barcelona on a Bosman in January, signing free terms and then being a free transfer next summer.
I think it just tells you what Barcelona think about Ousmane Dembele. I think they understand that he's a talented player, but they're just not sure about him. And them risking their future on him a few years ago, they're realizing he's not worth it, and them trying to get him out.
Just quickly, can we have a quick look at what Papu Gomez has said about Amad Diallo? Isn't that just the kiss of death for any?
He's in trouble. So, Amad Diallo, that just signed for Manchester United from Atlanta. Yeah, Jack.
Yeah, I've got the figures. I'll let you go. So it's £19 million up front, and this is a guy, guys, very quickly. He's played for 24 minutes in Serie A. He's got 1 goal, but it's 3 substitute appearances over 20.
Yeah, man, he is 18. I'm a Diallo of Atlanta.
Atalanta, right. But it was £19 million up front with £18 million in clause-related bonuses, so goals, appearances, that kind of thing. But sorry, James, go ahead.
But like he says, he plays like Messi. There are defenders in the first team that cannot stop him. My thing is, you can say the defenders that can't stop. I get that. He plays like Messi.
Kiss of death.
That's a very, very tough one to stop there.
He's the next Emre Moore, or whoever the hell was last called the next Messi.
It's a bit of a problem. There's definitely a bit of a problem there. But I just want to quickly talk about Manchester United. And so the deal for Edinson Cavani has been agreed. He is a Manchester United player. We knew that was going to happen. We spoke about that before. Just quickly on that. Are you happy with that deal for Manchester United and Cavani?
Initially, the rumors were that it was going to be like a 3 or 4 year deal, and I was like, oh my god, that's a lot of money to give a player who might not be at it. But supposedly it's going to be a 1-year deal with another year option. Now, if he can do a Zlatan, if he can do a Henrik Larsson, if he can, even a Gallo has done reasonably well since coming in. If he can just chip in with a few goals, prove his worth, add something a little different to the Manchester United team, I think you've got to say that it was probably a good deal. But for me, it remains to be seen. Just a quick shout to all Man United fans out there. Edinson Cavani hasn't played professional football in 7 months, and he's in his now mid-30s. That's a problem, if you ask me.
I still think it's a good deal. Secondly, for Manchester United, Alex Telles of Porto. Now, this was a deal that at the time we thought was off, and it seems some remarkably it came back to light, and he's now a Manchester United player. It's official. He signed. Jack, tell me, do you think this is a good deal?
Well, in the space of about 12 months, Man United have signed what I would say is the first and the third best player in the Portuguese league. The second best, in my opinion, being Ruben Diaz. But signing Bruno Fernandes and Alex Telles over the course of a year, he had 12 months left on his contract, so they could have got him potentially for a cheaper deal in January, which is only like 9-10 weeks away, everybody. Or he could have potentially got him on a Bosman. But I think this is the exact kind of player Manchester United will need at that fullback. Everyone needs to keep in mind, Luke Shaw was not given a new contract because he was playing great football. Luke Shaw was given a new contract because Manchester United had nobody else to play left back. So big upgrade at left back, provides assists, provides goals, some real dynamism, and he's a real character. I've seen him play a couple of times in like Champions League and Europa League crossover.
Now, Luke Shaw, Manchester United, has just been in and out. Question, did you see that tackle that he had against Lucas Moura? Generally, it was one of the worst tackles I've seen from the point of view is that he clearly wasn't going for the ball. He just clearly went for the man. He got a yellow card for it. It was a straight red, but he wasn't going to send him off. But Luke Shaw looks to the point of view that he's done, and never really lived up to that price tag that Manchester United played at that time, which was a world record for a teenager and a defender.
Yeah, I just, like I said, there was no alternative. So it was, all right, I guess we got to give this guy a new contract. Luke Shaw, I think, understands the fundamentals of the position and is good from that standpoint. He won't often make a mistake in terms of decision making and composure, but he's not really good at the position. He's not so solid defensively. He's not so incredible in an attacking sense. So you actually wonder, I think Brandon Williams, just as an example, is probably a better fullback at this point than Luke Shaw is.
Just want a quick touch on Eric Garcia and his non-move to Barcelona. This transfer window, I think it's come out from Fabrizio Romero, who's done an amazing job this year throughout the whole transfer window. That he's told Man City that he will join Barcelona in January or next summer when he becomes a free agent. So it seems like it will happen, but not this season. How do you think it's going to play out throughout his rest of the time in Manchester?
This will be January for me. I'm actually, this kind of upsets me from Manchester City. It's really poor form. Eric Garcia is dreaming of going back to Barcelona. He's got a year left on his deal. Eric Garcia would be nowhere near the first team, especially after signing Nathan Ake and Ruben Diaz. The fact he won't just let the guy go back to a club where he really wants to go to is a real shame for me. I'm trying to look at it from the point of view for the player. I understand that, Manchester City maybe want to take advantage of that strong relationship and get some money from Barca, but with a year left on his deal, they should have just let him go, in my opinion. James, so let me ask you about one. Matteo Guendouzi, Hertha Berlin on loan. Is this kind of, he's slowly eking out, it'll be a loan, then it will be permanent, or is this to develop him?
My thing is this with Guendouzi is that I genuinely do believe that Arsenal still have hope for this guy because as a player, he's a teenager, he's 19, 18 years of age. He came in and it's been really, really good for a player who's played in the second division of France. He's done brilliant. He's got an international cap. I think he was captain for the under 21s. I genuinely do believe that the relationship with him and Arteta has been a bit of a problem, but Arsenal don't want to give up on him yet. It's rather if they don't get the price tag, they're willing to buy their time, and he might develop into the star that we think he could honestly become. You don't want to research Gnabry issue.
I do rate him. I know a lot of people don't like him because of the way he is, but I do think he's a good player. So let me ask you about another loan. You've got Ryan Sessegnon going to Hoffenheim on loan from Spurs. What do you make of that? Again, he's a player that coming in to Tottenham
Tottenham fans were excited, Ryan Sessegnon, what he was able to do in the Championship. And when he first came into the Premier League, he had some bright spots. Hasn't really kicked on. And I think that what Spurs are going to try to do is try the Jadon Sancho type of effect. You know what it's like when English players go to Germany. Can they can they develop? Arsenal did it with Reece Nelson before Emile Smith-Rowe. Can he go to Germany, develop over there, and then come back the season after, and also and then turn into a star, basically?
I think the thing that's frustrating for me about Sessegnon is I think he's a wing back in a back five.
But I don't think he's. I think he's a winger. I think he's a goal scoring winger.
I don't know if he's good enough to be a winger. And what I mean is, if you go back and watch Fulham in the Championship when Ryan Sessegnon was there and when he was just their best player, defensively, what would happen is, I want to say it might have even been Joe Bryan at left back. Like the left back would tuck in, and then Ryan Sessegnon would come back, and it would be a five. It would be a five with Ryan Sessegnon at left wing back, and then in attacking sense, he would just go forward, and the left back would come out a little wider to offer him some support. So I wonder if all that actually needs to happen is Fulham need to find a team for him where there is a back five or a back three, and you have him as the wide player.
Breaking news. You know what it is? I'm just waiting for that video to come out. Everyone knows about the confirmation video to kind of make it. I'm waiting for the Arsenal feed, and then but we know that the deal is doing amazing, amazing stuff there. I'm just waiting. Again, we're live right now, so I'm just waiting for that to actually come true. But Jack, who do you think has won throughout this whole transfer window? Who do you think has done the best business? Again, you can obviously look at Chelsea and what they've done.
Thing is, you've known me for a number of years now. You know that to me, money spent does not always signify doing well. So to me, I always say, if you spend £3 trillion on signing Lionel Messi, just because you've signed Messi, that's not a good deal. You've just bankrupted your football club to sign a player who's only going to play for a few more years. So there needs to be a certain level of getting good value in for this kind of thing. I've got to say, I think Spurs have done a pretty good job, generally speaking.
Can I just mention a quick one there? As they are right there, Aston Villa bringing in Ross Barkley, Emi Martinez, Ollie Watkins, who obviously scored a hat-trick yesterday. They've done some decent business. But Jack, go ahead, carry on.
Oh no, I look at Højbjerg for the fee they paid. I think that's a steal. Matt Doherty, I think that about the right price was paid there. Bale is your difference maker. And I think even to get him on loan and pay half of his wages, that is a good. I think that just is a good deal. I look at the guy they got on loan as a backup for Harry Kane. That's exactly what Mourinho wanted.
Do you know who this is? Manchester United?
Yes, striker. This is purely from Football Manager. Is a striker from Penarol. I've never seen him play. I think he's quite young. Like if I told you anything about him, it would purely be from video games. For goodness' sake.
I'm not gonna lie.
I think this is the thing. Manchester United, I think, have signed, I want to say it's 8 players for their academy teams this season, which is more than any other team. And I think it's because as the rules are going to change with regards to Brexit, you need more players that have played at your club under the age of 21 that are going to have played at the club for at least 3 years. So Manchester United signing lots of 15, 16, 17-year-olds with the hope that they will play in the academies or in the first team for 3 years or so, and they'll be considered homegrown so that they can have that fulfillment. The problem with Arsenal, just as an example, is Arsenal need to get rid of some of their foreign players to have more of those homegrown players dotted in. I think the reason why Kolasinac, the attempt to get Kolasinac off the wage bill, and also out of the club, was to free up one of those spots for a homegrown player. So James, let me ask you about a couple of other ones. What do you make of Douglas Costa going back to Bayern on loan?
This is a bit of a weird one. I'm not gonna lie. It was it came really out of nowhere. But I do feel like they wanted a winger. Callum Hudson-Odoi was their guy, you know. But Chelsea I feel like whenever Chelsea hear Bayern Munich, they just automatically say, you, Callum Hudson-Odoi, you're in the starting 11, you're going to play. Because this just seems to happen every single time. And then after a while, and then when Bayern are not there, he isn't playing anymore. But they can clearly say that they wanted an extra winger in there. So they got Kingsley Coman, they got Serge Gnabry, they got
Sane.
they got Sane. I'm not sure what happened to the other one that was there. I can't remember, but I can clearly see that they wanted a fourth winger in there. And if they can't get Callum Hudson-Odoi, they want someone who's been there, who knows the club, who at his best was absolutely fantastic for them. So I think it's a weird deal, but it works out for both parties.
It's also a loan. I think this will be a stopgap. I think we'll see. I don't think Hudson-Odoi will be signing an improved deal, with Chelsea anytime soon. January, next summer, whatever. I think they're going to come back in for Hudson-Odoi. And if Hudson-Odoi is not going to get his playtime, which I don't expect him to, with all these, signings that Chelsea have made, I do expect at some point Hudson-Odoi will probably be playing for Bayern Munich. I don't know if he's starting, but I think he'll be there.
So, what do you think about? Go on.
I'm just going to say, if you'll indulge me a little bit, Roma managing to get somebody like Chris Smalling for £18 million. Roma, especially after getting rid of Kostas Manolas and Rudiger in consecutive transfer windows, have been really struggling for centre back. I can't tell you how many horror flashbacks I have of having Federico Fazio start and Juan Jesus start for Roma. Honestly, it's like PTSD. But Roger Ibanez has looked really, really good. He's on loan this year with an obligation to buy next year. Gianluca Mancini has now been officially confirmed one of the best centre-backs in Serie A. Kumbula as well, who can play potentially at fullback or the left side of it. Sorry, are you going?
No. I also just want to mention a quick one. Sure, Immobile to Bayern Munich. Where did that come from, Jack?
What? When the hell did that happen?
Immobile.
No, James, what?
I mean, not Immobile. Choupo-Moting, sorry. Choupo-Moting. Sorry, guys. Got a little bit mixed up there.
You can't just say stuff like that. Oh, that would have made That's Roma's biggest rival losing their best player. That was just fucking great.
But Choupo-Moting signed for Bayern Munich. Where did that come from?
Just to give you some context, that would be like me telling you that Harry Kane has just moved to PSG. That's what I'm talking about. Oh man. Yeah, I guess they need a backup. Oh man, you got my heart going now. I've got a shot of adrenaline. But yeah, Kumbula can play centre back, can play left back, and like I say, Roma's defence from looking absolutely horrible now looks good again. And I'm more positive than I have been previously, which is good. So an interesting one for me as well, and one that I'm sure we could potentially make fun of. Tiame Bakayoko on loan to Napoli.
Generally, one of the worst transfers of all time was Chelsea signing Bakayoko. Now, they brought him in to replace Matic. 40 million that they spent on him. And
Just to say, very quickly, the transfer window has now officially closed. We've hit 11 o'clock. Boom.
Thomas Partey is an Arsenal player. I hope you guys just seen, it's closed, guys, but Thomas Partey, where does it come up? Atletico Madrid have just confirmed Thomas Partey. Arsenal have hit the release clause. He's an Arsenal player. That's all. That's all we care about.
That's what we care
generally
about on this show.
Guys, transfer window's done. Yeah, I said we are going to go live, and I hope you guys have enjoyed it. Tell me what you think about everything that's going on today, everything we've talked about. Comments down below. Follow Box to Box Football on Twitter. Obviously, subscribe. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.